congregation brought him without the camp.
And they did just that. Go ahead.
And stoned him with stones.
And
he died.
As what?
As the Lord commanded Moses.
Not as Moses made up, right?
No.
As the Lord commanded Moses. That's some judgment, is it? And it came from the Lord. The wages of sin. It's a price to pay. And that has not changed, brothers and sisters. People think because Jesus died, we out of any wages, right? Mm-hmm. You ain't got to worry about this law, the Sabbath days, the dietary law. I can play with wizards. I can worship any kind of way. I can do what I want to do. The Lord not going for that. We're going to see it, don't you? Let's go to the New Testament now. John 8. John 8. Because this is what people have read to me when you read some of the stuff we read in the Old Testament. They will come and read this and say, well, you know, how y'all keep the law? Y'all keeping the law over there? Well, I don't see y'all stoning nobody. That's what they did in the law. Look, just because we ain't stoning nobody, we know it's not time for that. That don't mean we just go and break the law, period. Because the Lord is the judge. So they read this right here. But they don't pay attention to all of what's being said either when they read this. John 8 and verse 1. John 8 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Jesus went into the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple. And all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them.
Now Jesus going around preaching. He in the temple. A lot of people gathering around. Go ahead.
And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had sat in her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
See, now these people don't mean no good anyway. They just trying to put Jesus in a trick bag. They trying to mess him up because they don't like the way he bringing the gospel. They don't like that. So they trying to find something wrong with him some kind of way, any kind of way they can accuse him. They can even make him look bad in front of the people, say, look, he don't uphold the law, or they can make him look bad in front of the government, the Romans, saying, look, he had this woman stoned. We ain't supposed to do that. Y'all run it. They didn't care. They just wanted to make him look bad. So that's where they come with the trick bag question. So he preaching to people. They come tell him, they say, look, master, like they really believe in him. We got this woman right here. She was taken in adultery. Matter of fact, read verse 4 again. We're going to show you how we got her. Go ahead.
They said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
They said, look, we caught her in the very act. Just like I just was talking about. We just read it, right? Mm-hmm. And we saw when a man and a woman commit adultery that it brings about death, right? But we saw first off, it said both of them. How the heck you going to catch her in the act and you don't have the man there? She couldn't be in the act by herself, right? Even if it was an animal, they should have had the animal, right? She said, we got to stone the animal. But law said stone the beast and the woman, master. But they didn't bring nobody. That show you they was tripping already, right? How's she going to be in the very act by herself? So that's what they said. Verse 5.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. What sayest thou?
See, they trying to be sneaky. But Moses in the law says such and the one she was with should be stoned. We read it, right? So they was wrong already. How Jesus going to say stone this woman without the man? That wouldn't even be fair with it. Where the man at? You said act. I can see if the man was gone and she just pregnant and her husband didn't do it, then you might have some recourse. But you said in the very act. So something ain't right with that already. But they just tempting him. They just testing him to get him to mess up. See if they can get him to mess up so they can have something to accuse him of. Go ahead, verse 6.
This said they tempted him that they might have to accuse him.
See, that's what they looking for. Go ahead.
But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as he heard them not.
Well, Jesus was wise. He said, these people tripping. Let me see how I'm going to deal with this mess. So he just sat down and act like he ain't even here. He probably said, I'm so sick of these Negroes. Go ahead. Verse 7.
So when they continued asking him, He lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at him.
So they just kept on bugging him, where he couldn't ignore him no more. And he had to answer for him, though. Now, pay attention to really what Jesus said, though, because people don't even pay attention to the answer. First of all, Jesus didn't rule out stoning the woman, did he? He did not say, don't stone her, did he? That's where he got him at. So they wanted to find him going against the law, or they wanted to get him in trouble with the government. One way or another. They probably try to put you in the trick bag in a minute. So Jesus didn't go against nothing, did he? When they continued to ask, he lifted up himself. He said, he that is without sin among you, the one that's without sin, let him be the first one. And the rest of y'all follow in. But the one that's without sin, you throw the first brick at him. You be the first one to stone. Like I said earlier, that's not fair, is it? A man pulling the lever on the electric chair, he was committing adultery last night, and he going to pull the lever on the electric chair because this man killed somebody. He need to be in the chair too. Or just leave it alone. Let the Lord handle that. You surely can't judge that. You can't carry out the wages for that. Even though it don't make the man murdering somebody okay and like he's not wrong, right? But as far as you judge him to the point you putting the wages of death on him, you can't do that. So that's what Jesus was getting at. He did not say it was wrong for somebody to be killed, or he did not condone what the woman did. See, that's what people want to make it like Jesus condoning sin, and he not, is it?
Right.
They want to make it like we ain't got to worry about the law no more. Look, this woman is not okay if she was caught in the act of adultery. She's not okay, is she? Neither is the one she was caught in the act with, even though he wasn't there. He's not okay. But as far as stoning them, look, you need to have your hands clean before you call yourself going to stone somebody else. So that's what he said. Read it again, verse 7.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Boy, Jesus knew how to handle stuff, didn't he? And then what did he do after that?
And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
He went back to writing on the ground. He said, chew on that for a minute and get back to me. I got business to take care of. Go ahead.
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
See, they went out shameful. Because they knew they was only playing with themselves. So they all left one by one. They said, ain't nothing we can do about that, can we? I didn't see it. I was sinning last night. Time to go. Go ahead.
And when Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee?
See, now he lifted up. She wasn't nobody but the woman there. She probably wondering what's going to happen. He said, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee? Go ahead.
She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Now, Jesus let her go. Because you know, the one person that could have stoned her was him. Because he was what? Without sin. He could have stoned her. But he showed mercy on her. Because he knew it wasn't that time. It wasn't time for that. But he could have actually stoned her and been okay. But then he knew it wasn't time for that because he might as well stone all the ones before they left. I'd hitting them with bricks too. Wait a minute, come on. So he said, since you don't have no accuse, he said, no man that condemn me, Lord. Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Now, I'm glad he didn't stop there because people be acting like committing adultery is okay, wouldn't it? See, Jesus didn't condemn. She committed adultery and he didn't condemn the woman. So, you know, if I go and commit me a little adultery, it's okay now. We ain't got to keep the law. That's what they say. But he didn't stop there. What did he say? Neither do I condemn thee. Do what?
Go and sin no more.
Oh, he added something else to let you know it's still not okay, didn't he? Go and sin no more. Don't nobody like to quote that. Again, he warning you about sin because it's going to catch up with you, brothers. no, it's not going to happen speedily where you get stoned now, but it's going to still get you. You still going to have to pay the wages. It's just when you pay them now. You still got to pay the wages. And that's why God got something called Judgment Day, don't he? So that's what he said. Go and sin no more. Now, we read what sin is. What is sin? Breaking the law. Jesus is telling you, don't go break the law no more. You lucky to get away with this. I should be busting your head right now. You lucky to get away. Don't go sin no more. Don't go transgress the law. That's what it is. Now go to John the 5th chapter. Back up to John 5. Just a few pages. John 5. So Jesus not changing where the law is no more, is it? If the law was no more, he wouldn't have said go and sin no more. It just wasn't time for people to be stoning people when everybody is dirty. But God is clean. So he can stone any and everybody or put them in the fire, whatever he want to do. Anybody that need, they got it coming. John 5:5. Go ahead.
And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. Mm-hmm. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Would thou be made whole?
Okay, now we skipped over the first few verses because this shows you the mercy of the Lord here. Even though everybody wasn't doing what they needed to do, the Lord still had mercy on people that had diseases and had ailments, where he would so often, it was a pool, he would send an angel to trouble the water in this pool. And when the angel troubled the water in the pool, some of the first people that jumped in that pool would be healed of whatever was wrong with them. That shows you God is something else. All you had, so literally you had people hanging out by this pool. You had some ailment, I'm going down by the pool, I'm going to hang out a little bit. Maybe it happened. You know, it's like hitting the lottery. So that's what they did. They hung out by this pool to try to get healed and stuff because they knew the power of God. And God was doing it, showing you his mercy. So, we just jumped in it here. It said it was a certain man hanging out by the pool at verse 5. He said he had this sickness, this infirmity. How long? 38 years. That's a long time, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So he's been crippled 38 years. Can't walk. And Jesus, of course, he know it. Because he know it all. It said when Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? Verse 7.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me.
See, now he couldn't even move hardly quick enough to even get to the pool in time. And the troubling only lasts so long. So he said, Jesus said, you want to be made whole? He said, sir, you know, I just need a little help getting in that pool when the water comes. Because I can't even make it. Somebody beat me and they get the healing. But see, he didn't know Jesus was the water trouble. He was right there talking to him. He didn't know that though. What Jesus tell him? Go ahead, verse 8.
Jesus said to him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk.
Now Jesus told him straight up, you ain't got to wait for the water. I'm the one trouble the water. Rise, take up your bed and walk. Or I send an angel to trouble the water. Either way. Take up your bed and walk. Verse 9.
And immediately the man was made whole. And took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. See,
and the man was healed immediately. And he took up his bed, which normally he wouldn't have done. But after 38 years of being crippled, hey, he's so happy. Hey, yeah, he just fold his bed up and get to stepping.